that's not actually a standard that I have to meet. It did bug me from even as early on as when I was maybe 7. That's the way that all of us as women are created. Hey girls, welcome and welcome back to Beautiful Daughters 99. If you're new here, my name is Maya, and this is my faith-based podcast series for the beautiful daughters and young women of God who are struggling in faith and body image. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and let's get into today's video topics. So today I just wanted to share some more of my personal body image journey with you, because I don't really think as much as I've put out podcasts about body image and taking care of the body that God has given you, I don't think I've really actually gotten into too much depth of how I've really felt about my own body, and I thought that it might be of help to you if I did that. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I think when I started really not liking how my body looked probably started around when I was 13-ish years old. But of course, different people had, made little comments, not necessarily unkind, in the way that they said them, but that just still sort of did bug me from even as early on as when I was maybe 7. But it didn't really start to become a big thing for me until I was about 13 to 14. So that's really that age when it started for me. And I think that that's pretty common, though sometimes people will have those sorts of issues with not loving how they look a little bit younger. But of course, you also will probably be able to relate to people saying things just in general, even earlier on than that, even if the actual struggle didn't really come out until later in your years. I would honestly just feel so frustrated, especially with my face, because I sort of have a naturally round face, and for a long time, it just really held on to all of the sort of babiness of it and just very round, very rosy. And I actually just ran a little bit, and it's just sort of naturally my face shape. So you're probably yeah, Maya, you still sort of got baby cheeks that are pretty rosy right now, even as you're talking to us, and that's just how it is. But even I was actually looking today at the first video that I recorded for this podcast series, and I was like, wow, that was really a lot. I can remember how I felt even just a couple of years ago, feeling just very chubby. And I mean, there's nothing wrong necessarily with being chubby, and it is true that I was chubby, but it was a lot, especially because a lot of my friends were and are much slimmer than I, so it was I don't really have many people around me that are in this same type of situation. And I know that being really skinny can have its own body image struggles, but that's just not what I am most used to with my personal journey, with weight and how I look and the type of bone structure that I have. I just wanted to read to you from the scriptures, Psalm 139, 13 through 15. Bear with me while I try to find that. It is honestly, the whole of 139 is my favorite psalm, but I especially like those verses, and verse 14 is actually on my necklace here because it's just that important to me. And it has really helped with my body image struggles, and so I hope that it can be a help to you as well. So that is Psalm 139, verses 13 through 15, and feel free to join along with me. The words will be on the screen. You can grab your own Bible, anything you want to do with that. For you formed my inward parts, you knitted me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, my soul knows it very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Now, I am sure that I must have heard of those verses somewhere along the line before I was having those body image struggles, but it really sort of was a new concept to me when I found the verses. I'm not exactly sure how I came across them, which is sort of the story of my life in general. I don't know how I end up finding different things that God has taught me, but somehow I end up there and I find something new within the scriptures that's really a help to me, and that's really awesome, honestly, how the Lord does that in my life. But that psalm in particular just really lifted me out of the pit I was in with a lot of thoughts of myself just, not being pretty enough, not being like how my friends looked, just being totally insecure about how I looked, especially about my face and my stomach area. Really, anything round about me I hated, which is sort of funny because I am a woman. I'm sure you've noticed that. And everyone has a bit of a different body type between men and women, but women just are, rounder. So it's really nothing to be ashamed of, and I want you to know that, because that's the way that all of us as women are created, and there's reasons for that, and there's very good reasons for that. And so I want to really make that clear. There is a point to it, and the Lord has taken such time to weave you together in your mother's womb, and in your mother's womb, which you will have a womb, and that's a lot of with I was trying to lose weight from my belly. And I still, have some amount of unhealthy fat that I would like to rid myself of to take better care of my body as a temple to the Holy Spirit. And it's perfectly okay to want to lose or gain weight and exercise. That is something that can be healthy for you. You just have to do it negating all of the self-deprecating thoughts and instead doing it to actually make your body healthy for the Lord. And anyway, all of that to say, there is your lower belly, there is going to be a point at which you're not really going to be able to lose fat or weight, because you do have to have that space for your womb. And some people are flatter than others, but it all really depends. But it's just important to really know the anatomy of things and how God has created each human being, and specifically with us as women, just how our bodies have been intentionally designed, because there are some things that you're not going to be able to do about yourself when losing weight or when gaining weight. And that's really important to hold on to. And so that psalm not only helps with just really knowing the depth of the time and the care God puts into just creating each and every human being individually and uniquely, but also just to the science of it that God created. And honestly, it's pretty cool. I'm a little bit of a science nerd when it comes to anatomy and biology and that sort of thing, so don't mind me over here. But that's just really helpful psalm, and really helpful to know about my body and just about all of our bodies as women when we are struggling with that body image and how we look. A lot of the time, I would look in the mirror each morning and be wow, I'm still pretty fat. Wow, I still weigh this much. And I would get so caught up. I was in a pretty bad weight zone at some point. And I was very unhappy with that. And just to put it out there, the number isn't always really the most accurate thing, because you could be a certain height and you could be very muscly. Your body shape and type and bone structure, it all is not accounted for within the BMI system. So I just want to, throw that out there. There are some guidelines you can follow by, but also it's just really important to take in mind the different little unique things about yourself when you're getting so hyperfixated on the number on the scale. And I was in a pretty unhealthy spot. And I still am not always satisfied with how I look in the mirror, but I also did just have a moment the other day. I don't know when it was, a couple weeks ago maybe. And I realized when I was making myself breakfast, oh hey, I didn't check myself in the mirror. I didn't even do that. I just did what I needed to do and then went to make my breakfast. Like the thought of checking how much I weighed and what I was looking like didn't even come across my mind. And I was like, oh. And that really just made me honestly unbelievably happy, because I was like, oh, this is okay. And I don't have to constantly be like, is my belly too big? Are my thighs too much? I was just like, oh, yeah. I don't even have to really look at that too much. And I think part of that is that I did get back into a zone that's much healthier. And again, just looking at that first video that I created even just 1 year ago, and then looking to myself now, I'm like, yeah, I look way different, honestly. Because I have been working out, but I also haven't been pushing myself super hard, and there is no need for you to do that, and there's no need for me to do that. Exercise is good, and I really like doing exercise. I know it's not for everyone, but there is some amount of it to which it is healthy, and if you enjoy it, then that's something great that you can do, and honor the Lord with your body. But yeah, I also just started eating healthier, added a lot more vegetables to my diet, and that just really helped me be healthier overall. I am sort of obsessed with the idea of getting biceps and abs and just being pretty jacked overall. And I still would like to be able to get there eventually at some point in my life. But that is a want, and I understand that that's a want. That's not actually a standard that I have to meet for how my body should look. And I mean, most people aren't super muscular people. You don't have to be at that point. If you want to, and if you have a goal to get to, then that's awesome and amazing, and you should strive toward that goal. And that feeling of accomplishment when you get there, I'm sure, is just incredible. But it's not something that you have to completely fixatedly hold yourself to. And I'm honestly feeling pretty happy with myself right now, and I think that God has just taught me so much over even just the past year with making these YouTube videos. I know I'm not actually at a year point of videos yet, but I will be in a couple of months, and that's just crazy wild to me. Sometimes it feels like it's been way longer, and other times it's like, oh, really? Already? What? But yeah, I'm honestly doing really well with that right now, and I hope that not only can the scriptures, of course, obviously be a help to you, but also that my own personal struggles and getting closer to God through that and being at a happy spot now could really help you with your own journey. So that's really just all that I wanted to share with you today. I hope that you found it helpful, and may the Lord bless you and keep you in your journey as well. If you have any questions, videos you would like me to do, concerns, theological things to discuss, you may always feel free to email me at beautifuldaughters99@gmail.com, as well as you can direct message me on Instagram. That's just at beautifuldaughters99, and I will be happy to get back to you as soon as I possibly can. I check my notifications fairly frequently enough, so you shouldn't have too long of a wait time. The Lord bless you, and I will see you for another video next week. So goodbye.